Please welcome Tom Baker. Come on in, they won't hurt you. I promise you, Tom, they will not hurt you.
What a memory you've got.
Hello. Oh, you don't like kissing? Do you not do
I don't do kisses.
It's fine, the handshake is fine.
But thanks, I felt your pulse.
I already feel the presence of not only Tom, but Doctor Who here. Please take a pew, Mr. Who. Now, as of yesterday, Tom, this is quite extraordinary. They're lovely, they're harmless, they're lovely. As of yesterday, you've become the voice of BT, let me get this right, text messaging. Now, how exactly, tell us this poor mortal, how does this work?
Well, a new step has been taken scientifically. Now, if you use BT text processing, I recorded for about 70 hours also millions and millions of sounds that are broken down, not just words, although I had to read lots of words. But it means now that anyone who uses that texting thing, when they send a message over which I have no control, I don't know what they're going to be saying, they can make me say anything they want. It's true. Now, not long ago, I had a phone call from my wife, which gave me a terrible joke because you don't expect to get calls from your wife. I said, she said, darling, thank you very much for that sweet message. I thought, strange. I said, really? She said, yes, I love that bit when you talked about Jack Nicholson and said that you felt more alive when you thought about me. And I said, but I didn't send you a message. I hadn't sent her a message. A friend of mine had texted this message.
Oh, so your voice?
And it was my voice.
Well, we're going to hear some examples of that in a moment. Why do you think they chose your voice? I mean, it's certainly very distinguished.
Oh, is it distinguished?
It's the fourth most recognisable voice, apparently, behind the Queen, Tony Blair and Mrs Thatcher. That's what
yeah, I believe they were all offered the job, but they were busy. But I think I was chosen because of Little Britain, wasn't I?
Yes.
I mean, Little Britain has kind of reinvented me.
Well, you do the voice over that, the announcer's voice, isn't it?
I do all the continuity gag, and I fire off terrible insults, you know. Are
you allowed to have input there? Now, is it not?
Oh, no. Not on it's a family show, really. But I'm allowed, I make the boys laugh. I was the boys, you see, I'm now employed by the children who watched me when I was Doctor Who. And so now they're in show business. Or
so those two guys,
when they were children, they sat on my knee, yeah. And now they're giving me a job, yes.
I don't know how much of this I should believe with Tom. You never know what he's winding you up. How do you send, you know, this new system? How, because you said God knows how many hours and how many months. You've actually recorded almost every word in the English language.
Well, no, not every word, every sound. You see, the sound, it's broken down into, you know, phonemes or little fragments so that they can actually get that spontaneous or pretty spontaneous thing in it.
Yes.
Like, for example, I was recording thousands and thousands of sentences which didn't make sense but contained sounds. Do you want an example?
Yeah, go for it.
So I would say, for example, I would have to read, Molly was complaining to her sister because she's just discovered that her lover has a wooden leg. And as he's 6'3", this makes him rather rigid in bed. She's asked him to remove his leg, but he says it makes him unbalanced. And Molly doesn't know what to do because she finds that his leg is coming between them. Now, it's very kind of you to laugh. That was a very serious thing.
You have to send that and word it.
I have to say that, but that contains, you see, 87 small sounds.
That they can break down and make into different sentences. What about when people do kiss at the end of the sentence?
Well, I was doing a lot. Well, I did sobbing, sighing, whimpering and squealing. Yeah, yeah.
So
but no extra charge.
So that goes on the message.
Absolutely.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you sort of regretting that you've got involved in this a little bit? Because you don't know what the messages are going to be sent. Somebody could be asking somebody to marry them.
Yeah, yeah.
All with your voice. It's quite extraordinary.
Well, they could, yes, and I hope they will, because I think that might liven things up a bit.
I think people are more likely to say yes if they hear your wonderful tones.
No, but they won't know. I won't know what they're saying, will it? I won't know what people are saying.
No, but the people getting the messages, it will be your voice.
After the break, when we come back, we're going to send you a message. We're going to see what it sounds like in here. Very briefly, I mean, if someone wants to send a message where there's a swear word in it, what do you do then?
They can make them?
They can say anything because the sounds are there. I didn't say swear words. But I didn't say words like Fred.
Oh, God.
We were just discussing in the break there, you know, how did you feel when you got that first call from the Little Britain people? Were you sort of, surprised to be the narrator?
Well, because they were young, you know, it's always inspiring to be asked, you know, because I remember the days when I was known by young people. And that was wonderful. Now, you know, where I live, not long ago, I was standing outside a shop, a very smart shop, and I saw the man waving. And I waved at him. I thought perhaps he wanted some advice or something like that. Or perhaps, you know, some attention. And I said, and I waved like that, and he went, and so I did that like that, and he went. So I said, I looked over my shoulder, and he said, and I said, why? And he said, image. And he moved me. I thought, Christ, man, you wouldn't have dared do that 50 years ago. And of course he wouldn't. You know, he didn't know me anymore. He didn't know me anymore. Absolutely incredible, you know.
But when you did get that call from Little Britain, it wasn't a hit show when you first got that call.
No, it wasn't.
The narrative, the script is so obscure. The things that you have to say are so crazy. You know, how easy was it to say, yeah, I'll go with this, I'll run with this and see what happens with it? Did you have
it was very easy.
You had an instinct that it was going to be brilliant.
I had nothing else to do, you know.
Oh.
No, I didn't. I know that's very pathetic.
But you've always done voiceovers.
Well, I've done voices and everything like that, but I only really feel alive, you know, if I'm talking to people or to myself sometimes in sad moments, and the people are laughing. That's what we do. That's what we do.
What about that continuity announcer on the BBC? Now, not many actors get offered to do that. Did you have any input in that?
Well, I did have some input in that, but that was because that's another example of the producers on that all watched me. You see. Again, they were. It
has a snowball effect.
That's right, it has. Yeah.
Suddenly you're back on the scene, and the man to have and the man to see.
That's right, and people are terribly, terribly reassured.
You actually fancy maybe doing a role in Coronation Street? That would be something you'd quite like to do.
Oh, I would think Coronation Street would be the ultimate, yes.
Why the ultimate?
Well, simply because they get such huge audiences, and I come, of course, from Liverpool, not all that far away. I would be very much at home. I'd quite like to be in Coronation Street as a kind of inept, say, transvestite, you know.
You've got me thinking about another role you say you would love to be in. You'd like to be in The Last of the Summer Wine. Why? That's you, is it?
Well,
I'm excited now.
For two reasons. I was working with the little lecherous man, Robert Fife. You know, he's always on the bike after a woman. And so he said, Tom, oh, you'd like it in Last of the Summer Wine. I said, would I? He said, yes. I said, why is that? He said, well, every afternoon, he said, we have a little sleep.
As well as being voted the 4th most recognisable voice, you've also voted, I think it was 4th again in a magazine to be the 4th most eccentric star. I mean, yeah, you were behind Bjork, Chris Eubank and David Icke. Right, and just in front of Ozzy Osbourne and John McCurrick. You were 4th.
That's a bloody disreputable crew. Actually, that whole 5 of them should be locked up. I don't want to be in that gang.
Does it bother you being dubbed eccentric? Because, you know, you're not the actual norm guy. And when you walked in, you sort of did your little thing, and then you go off on these lovely little...
Well, I mean, this is the way I come into people's... Because, you see, the thing is, I'm so excited to be asked to come on here. No, let me finish. Don't start crying. Because...
You've got 30 seconds to
Right,
finish.
well, the thing is, you know, I've been to lots of... I've never been invited back twice.
Oh, really? Oh, you
well, come back.
Here.
We want you to come back.
No, you don't mean it. You
yes,
don't mean
we
it.
do.
Yes,
fabulous.
Thank you very much. We'll watch out, and I'm going to send you lots of strange messages to have to read and see whether you send them. Will you thank this wonderful guy, Tom Baker?
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Even though you wouldn't kiss me, it's fine. You can come back.
You're not into kissing yet?
You're not into the showbiz thing. You have to feel...
No, you're not kissing me.